If you search on the web for Moscow 2013 incident, you can find this hidden story. This story is written by a particular doctor. He tried publishing the story and sharing it online, but he couldn't manage to do so. In 2013, there was a psychiatric hospital near Moscow. They say it was near Moscow, but it was likely said to be in the center of Moscow. Although the name of this exact hospital is not disclosed, and despite it being in the center of Moscow, it was not known to regular citizens living in the city of Moscow. The hospital was underground, 2 stories beneath to be exact. It was located under a butcher shop. This was hidden. The regular population did not know this even existed in the midst of their own very city, other than the fact that it was just a butcher shop. This specific hospital had a rigid history. I say hospital, but you will understand why later. Going back 25 years before the incident that occurred in 2013, it was a regular meat shop with a regular butcher and regular employees. Every day, local citizens were swinging by to purchase their meat from this butcher. Year after year, this butcher shop was gaining popularity from locals and even tourists. It was a thriving business that served the community with its exceptional meat. But on April 5th, 1987, the butcher closed with no notice, with no reason. While the local citizens that visited this butcher on a daily basis had some concerns, nobody was able to figure out why the business closed. Weeks went by, and before everyone realized, they had all forgotten that it even had existed. About a year after this incident, a new butcher had opened up. Once again, thriving, as if the location was just right for a butcher shop. After 10 years of success, this butcher shop also closed. Once again, no notice, no reason, nobody knew why. Only 3 years later, yet another butcher shop opened. This was in early 2000s. Yet again, this butcher shop thrived, gaining massive popularity for the meat it served. People all over the world started to come to eat this meat, only for this butcher to close down in 2012. Once again, no reason, no notice, and nobody knew why. This was until 2013, that is. This was a year when all secrets were revealed. Why? Because the one doctor had the audacity and courage to share. Now why would a doctor share about a butcher shop? Well, this doctor worked in the psychiatric hospital, 2 floors underneath the butcher shop. There were some articles that were released and some citizens took notice of unusual activities going on in the butcher shop throughout the years. Not directly in the butcher shop, but they would see, well, people with mental disabilities being brought into the building from a side door with the nurse every now and then. Although there were some speculations and suspicions, the popularity of the meat shop took over and nobody took real serious notice to this matter. The doctor revealed that the psychiatric hospital will accumulate 10 years worth of individuals to bring them into the hospital only for a deadly fire to break out of the psychiatric hospital. While there were news of this incident, as it was reported and broadcasted live, it was said and reported that the hospital was near Moscow, not in Moscow. It was reported that the patients were trapped behind barred windows. The fire spread rapidly from the ceiling of the building, and many patients were unable to escape because of metal bars securing the windows. Smoke inhalation killed many as they were asleep due to sedatives. Emergency response was slow, raising questions about safety standards in Russian medical facilities, especially psychiatric hospitals. This was what was reported on the news. Every 10 years, a new but similar incident was discovered and reported on the news. And every 10 years, a new butcher shop opened and served meat. And to this day, the doctor wrote, nobody questions where the meat came from.